You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You not shit. I wish I was 50 years younger.
Yo, Boxing Wires back here with another video. Today's topic is going to be in the welterweight division, where we are going to be discussing a potential comeback fight for the WBC and IBF world champion Errol Spence, and this comeback opponent is actually looking likely to be the man himself, Danny Garcia, former welterweight champion, who has been in with quite a good few names. So I'm just going to give my thoughts on the fight and how I think it will go. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to start off by saying, before we even talk about Danny Garcia as an opponent and how tricky that fight could be, it's important to remember that Errol Spence, coming straight off that car crash in his first fight back, we don't know how good he is going to be. We don't know whether he's going to be the same. Now, of course, he said he's going to be the same, but as a top level boxer, as an elite boxer, he probably would be saying that. Now, I'm sure we've all seen the video. He came out of his car. It was going about 100 miles an hour, and I think off the top of my head, the injuries that he sustained was loss of teeth and something else. But that's the injuries we know of. But in a situation like this, the more concerning issue is the underlying injuries that we will never see. Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say I do believe he will have some underlying injuries. I don't know what these things might be, but he could have some stuff like tendon damage or muscle tissue damage, all things which could go against him in the ring. However, we're going to look on the bright side. We're going to assume it's the same. So we're going to talk about the Danny Garcia fight and whether this is a viable fight. So I personally think it's actually a really good competitive fight, to be honest with you. And I think that's the opinion of a lot of other people as well. Most people that I've seen have called the fight competitive. And if you're looking at Danny Garcia's resume, which is 36 wins, 21 knockouts and 2 losses, the 2 losses being to world-class opposition in Keith Thurman, which was a close affair, and the Sean Porter fight, which was also a close affair. Danny Garcia has never been outclassed by anyone. He's picked up some decent wins in his career. He's got wins over the likes of Morales, Amir Khan, Lucas Matisse. That was a good win. He even beat Lamont Peterson, Robert Guerrero, which is alright. Then we're going into the sort of 2016 times, 2017 times where he fought Keith Thurman and he lost on a split. Then he got that amazing knockout over Brandon Rios with that straight right hand. Lost to Sean Porter on a UD. That was a very close UD. I'm looking at the scorecards here. 2 judges had it 2 rounds and 1 judge had it by 4 rounds, which is a bit close in my opinion. And then on recent form, he had a knockout win over Adrian Granados and a wide decision win in 2020 against Ivan Redkach. Now, Danny Garcia for me is one of them fighters that's would cause any top welterweight problems, not necessarily beat him, but causing problems, purely because now he's been around for a long time, he's very seasoned, and he knows little tricks in the ring, especially some stuff looking at his counter punching or his no look left hook, which has knocked out quite a few opponents. He's quite effective against people that come towards him, which, if one thing, is going to benefit him in the Errol Spence fight, because people that have came towards him, looking at it now, people like Amir Khan, who came towards him, even Eric Morales, who attacked him in their second fight, he's better on the back foot. He seems quite educated on the back foot. However, when he's had to come forward in fights, most notably I can think of is the Keith Thurman fight, he doesn't look as good. He doesn't look as good or as sharp coming forward, but he does seem to be better either standing at distance or standing in middle range or on the back foot. And we all know Errol Spence is predominantly a front foot fighter. However, Errol Spence is also one of these people who've shown different dimensions to the game. As we all remember, against the Mikey Garcia fight, he showed us something completely different. And he actually showed us on his toes, sticking out a nice long jab, which I personally didn't expect him to do. So he's a fighter who shows he's got different dimensions to his game also. And this is why I think this would be such an interesting fight. Now, if I was to pick a winner, I would probably pick Errol Spence to win, based off his previous form. Now, I say this because I personally think Errol Spence is better than Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, who have both beat Danny Garcia, and of course the old adage styles make fights. However, I think in a close affair, Errol Spence's ability to land in combinations would help him grind out a victory, maybe similar to the Keith Thurman performance. Like a fight goes similar than that, where there's quite a few swing rounds, but in the end, most people see him as the winner now. The only thing concerning for this fight is whether Errol Spence will be the same after his will he be the same after his injury, and also that Danny Garcia will know he was injured, and him as being professional will know that this could have some sort of effect on him. So we might be training to do certain things in the ring, certain tactics which could potentially work. But I do think this would be a very interesting fight to watch if it does happen. Spence, if it happens, I'll have to say fair play to him because he hasn't took on a cream puff, using Hatman's words. In his first fight back, he's taken on a live opponent. So I look forward to seeing it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It's Boxing Wise, and I'm out.